Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It is February 15th, 2021. How's everybody doing? It's a long weekend depending where you are. President's Day in the US, Family Day in Canada. Yes, some of us have time off. Let's see what happened here. Slight issue on
We
the
don't
Discord.
care about our families in America. We care about our presidents.
Yes, indeed. It is a historic or a day where we honor, I guess, the president. Well, one president, two presidents. Might need a history lesson from Alex, but you know that's not super important because what is important is what's going on in the markets, guys. I went to bed last night seeing things tank. All right, I was prepared to call it. I was prepared to call it I was waiting for the Valentine's Day Massacre. Something in me was telling me markets are going to pull back over the weekend. Are we going to see a bit of a sell-off? We have been waiting for it. Part of the discussion we had in the Discord over the weekend with some of the members was, where some of us are staring at massive gains. Okay, I don't know how else to put it besides the fact that it's been a great market. Here we are. I know it's only February, and we don't want to counter chickens till they hatch. But sometimes it's prudent to take profits, and that was some of the discussion we're having. Now, I know a few members were felt a little uneasy. They're like, "Whoa, but what about the signals? What about?" Okay, guys, we were just speaking, of course, just in general terms. Some of us have been stacking alts for years, and they've been rip-roaring for the last few weeks. At what point do you take your gains? That was the discussion indeed. And then, what do you know, Sunday came this sell-off, and I thought, ooh, that was it. Should have taken those gains. But how wrong I was. I wake up this morning and I find out that was just one big fake out. Check this candle out on the daily. What a wick. What a wick to the downside. This is what would you call Thor's hammer. Doji. Either way, crazy price action. Looks like all of the selling got bought up, and it was a dip line opportunity. So that's where we stand, guys. It is Monday morning on this long weekend. Bitcoin currently at 48,700 after dipping as low as 45,007. Similar story at Ethereum. Check out the wick and the buy up on this one. Apparently we went as low as 1660 last night, just to be back at 1822. So apparently the Valentine's Day Massacre was canceled. It was just one big dip buying opportunity. I hope you guys got yours. And finally, let me show you what I was going to do last night. This is Kusama. You guys are looking at on the chart right now. So last night I was in discussions with one of our members. What's up?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna finish.
I've got a delay in the thing. I was like, no, this is still Ethereum. I was like, wait, I'm stupid. Please continue.
All good. Yeah, so last night I was in discussion with one of our members. He's launching a Kusama validator node, and I was gonna go halvesies with him at minimum on one node. And I was like, okay, let's look at the Kusama prices, and that's when prices just started dropping. Just as I was about to spend my Ethereum on some Kusama. And I thought, you know what, let's leave it. I think this is it. The markets are going to roll over here. We're going to have a few weeks of bearishness. Why should I buy Kusama now, dude? As much as I want to launch this node now, just let me wake up in the morning and pick up Kusama at $100. And I get up and look what Kusama did, guys. From the bottom of this wick when I went to bed to the top, 66% gain. Currently up on the day, 32%. So apparently that was my opportunity to buy Kusama. I didn't. I'm kicking myself. It's going to cost me a lot more. $207 currently. Well, that's Kusama, guys. It seems like the markets are not going to give up just yet. We're going to keep roaring forward. It is exciting indeed. I hope everyone's doing great this Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. And yeah, we've got Alex with us today. Alex, how about you? How was your weekend? How's everything? How's your trades? Do tell.
My weekend was actually really relaxing. Obviously I enjoyed watching major alts really take off. I talked about it on Friday's show. If you on Friday's show, if you go to like 45 minute mark, somewhere around there, I talk about BCH and Litecoin and how they were looking reversally, and then they did reverse over the weekend. And so I was I was long those. That went really well. We ended up closing out most of our trades on Sunday night. We got some early exit signals on time transformation, so we closed up before the big dump. And now we're just we're kind of waiting to see what happens. I have kind of a small short on Bitcoin, just like a hedge short for my own personal account because I'm so long the alts right now. So I feel like Bitcoin is most likely to lead the market if it were to dump. And you guys know how epically bearish I've been. So it just seemed like it's worked out. Bitcoin's like relatively around the same price, and most of my alts have recovered. The ones that were looking kind of weak, I did end up dumping some of them yesterday. I was like, I'm not so confident in this position that I can't just I'll find another trade if if the markets continue on here. That's sort of how I felt.
Right on.
What about you?
As far as the general weekend's concerned, we had UFC night in the premium. Thank you to all the premium members who joined us for UFC 256, I think it was. It was a great time, as always. Thank you to all the UFC fans who do make Saturday night so much more exciting around here. I had a birthday to deal with in the house on Friday, so I was up late, drank a ton, partied a bit. It was a great time, so overall it was an exciting weekend, guys. And, some of the trades are still popping off, like the polls trade. Actually, a good opportunity to maybe segue into our poll today, because this was what I was looking at.
Because you're talking about polls.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that and it's one of my Uniswap gems. It's one of the trades I'm in on Uniswap. I'm very excited about Polka Starter, and it's still going. So I'm very excited about that. But let's just get into the community poll, guys. I'm going to drop the link in the live chat. If you guys haven't seen the poll yet, now's a perfect time to load it up and submit your response. Today's poll, of course, being with Ethereum gas prices spiking to new highs over the weekend. Did you exit any positions, or were you trapped in any of your ERC20 trades? First response available is yes, I got out of some Uniswap trades and it cost me $400 in gas. Did you exit? Did you take profits? Were you listening in to our Discord conversation over the weekend and thought, you know what, I'm pretty happy being up 10, 20, 30x. Maybe now's a good time to take some profit. Did you spend the $400 in gas to get out of a trio of trades, let's say? Do let us know. That first response is for you. The second response is no, the gas prices are out of control and kept me trapped. So were you inclined to take profits? Did you want to get out of a trade, whether up or down, but the gas prices being so brutal, you figured you'd save it for another week? Let us know. The second response is for you. Third response, yes, I paid the gas prices in order to buy the dip. Right. So, did you actually buy more? Did you buy this dip? We had a bit of a pullback across the market like I described earlier. Did you put your gas money where your mouth is and buy up the dip on Uniswap? Do let us know. Third option's for you. Finally, fourth option is I trade on centralized exchanges and never experience gas prices. Yes, if this whole gas price thing is not even... Yeah, it's not. If this isn't even a non-issue for you, are you on Binance? You don't care. You never use Uniswap. This fourth option's for you. Me, of course. No, I don't think I did. No, the gas price out of control kept me trapped. I guess this is the most applicable, although I don't really feel too trapped by the prices, but they are a little uncomfortable. There are some DeFi projects that I'm in that I'm trying to claim my dividends or whatever in, and right now I'm just chilling. I don't want to do anything with them. My money, as far as I'm concerned, is locked in that protocol, and it costs so much to execute any of the functions that I'm staying out. So second option I think is most suitable for me, guys.
I tried to just approve a coin to trade. You know how you have to do that on a Uniswap before you can sell something? You got to approve it.
Yes.
So it was going to cost me $50.
Wow. And normally that's like $15 bucks.
Yeah, and then to sell off one of my alts was going to be over 200 last night. So the ones that I did
Unreal.
want to sell, I figured, last night's dump was like brutal enough that we were going to wander up today. And it's one of the reasons why I still feel a little bearish, just because I was kind of expecting us to like wander back up. I know it was like, oh, we've had such a strong recovery. I was like, yeah, we had a recovery. The market's been bullish. Yeah, so I did dump some this morning, and they were still, like, gas fees were still kind of ridiculous, but they were nothing like last night. Last night, if you did not have large positions, you were legit trapped in your positions. It would have been over $200 to exit any alt last night.
Yep, certainly seems to have been the case, and I don't know, man. That's one of the things we also discussed in the Discord. Will this just fuel the Uniswap fire? Some of these tokens, right? Like if you're a retail investor, just got in, the token's mooning anyway. It's going to cost you a few $100 to get out of it. Is this just going to keep people stuck? Is this going to keep them from selling or doing anything? And isn't that a recipe to pump these Uniswap tokens? It could be, but I'm sure there's probably some more savvy market makers and whales on the other side who are eventually going to have to force you to make a decision and eat the gas. If not, I guess I'm looking at some of these tokens to list on Binance or something. I wouldn't mind, I guess, selling them on Binance if it's going to cost me $200 or more to dump on Uniswap. But that, alas, that is where we are in this space. Gonna quickly refresh the poll. Let's see, we got 14 votes already. Curious to see where we stand. Apparently 79% of respondents say I trade on the centralized exchange and never experience gas prices. Well, there you have it. Majority of us do not partake in Uniswap and don't really face this as an issue. Well, I still like Uniswap. I dare say it, I even like paying the fees. Maybe they're going to somebody other than CZ. The miners get a bite of it. Alright, I'm going to click like here as well if anybody wants to help put this poll over the top by clicking the like button and leaving the comment. It really does do wonders for this poll. Let's see here. Mr. H responded, I still want to trade DeFi, but the thought of giving up my gains. Yes. Alex says government subsidies for Ethereum gas fees. Yes, we do need those subsidies. I mean, they subsidize every other industry.
Government, step in.
It's in the public good, right? Public interest. Yeah. So why not?
Government always fixes the problem. Government, step in, fix this problem, please.
And Mr. Ether says most of mine are in exchange. Yes, so wonderful. All right, before I continue, get into the next segment, I'm going to quickly bring up our Valentine's Day special. I'm not sure Alex, how long does this run? To the end of the week? Wednesday?
It runs until the end of Wednesday. So thank you for reminding me. Our Valentine's Day special is going on right now. So if you just go to our Discord, you will see the coupon codes there in the hashtag announcements channel. It's something like V-Day 2021, monthly V-Day 2021.
Yep, annual. I got them on screen here.
Oh, okay.
You guys can take no worries. Yes, this went out as a social post over the weekend, so it's right below the poll. If anybody's looking at the poll right now, just scroll down. You'll see the next social post is this one here. It's Love at First Trade. Our Valentine's Day sale is on now. Enjoy our premium education and signal services at a discounted rate. Check out our coupon codes below. Of course, existing members should look at the premium announcement channel in the Discord for your special offer. Yes, if you're not yet a member.
Yes, be sure to buy a subscription for your favorite spouse and or president.
That's correct. So yes, this is the Valentine's Day offer, guys. We got 25% off a monthly subscription, followed by 10% off a yearly subscription. Codes are right here below. Do check out our Discord premium announcements for all the details. Yes, if you are an existing member, we're not going to leave you hanging. You have a offer waiting for you in our Discord under premium announcements. Do check that out. Ben crafted something special for just you guys. Alright, so we have the poll done. I'm going to quickly hop into the live chat. I have missed our audience dearly over the weekend.
Is that Bitcoin Gold I see
yes.
on... I made a couple really good trades on Bitcoin Gold way back when I was first starting out. I remember that. And then I held them too long because I still didn't understand the markets really well. And that's really interesting to see. I haven't seen that coin in a long time. Please continue.
For some reason, you bring up a good point. I didn't look at the bubbles yet. Quick stop off at bubbles. I see Kusama, as I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest winners of the day, 35% up. We have Digibyte up 29%, Dash up 15%. I see HBARs making a return, up 17%, and yes, Bitcoin Gold up 26% on the day. Very impressive. What's going on over at Bitcoin Gold?
It seems like a lot of the Bitcoin copycats are doing well. Like I said on Friday, I thought BCH was going to do well. BCH is up like 30-40% over the weekend. I noticed BSV was pumping a little bit. We'll take a look at that later. Now I see Bitcoin Gold. Maybe we'll look at Bitcoin Diamond. Maybe we should look at all the Bitcoin copies right now. Maybe they're doing stuff. That's very interesting.
Yep, seems like something is afoot with these coins. Who knows? You know, the whales, the holders of these coins are quite savvy. You know, they're existing Bitcoin whales that usually have big allotments of these coins. Maybe they're just taking advantage. To me, I choose to think of this as an opportunity to take advantage of market conditions and sell off your hordes of Bitcoin Gold, your SV.
These are all hard forks of Bitcoin. So essentially, anybody who was a whale on Bitcoin became a whale on the new chain, because it essentially like splits in half, and then all this new stuff is created. So Bitcoin whales do like to play inside of these other Bitcoin copycat markets, even though it's not like they believe in the coin or anything. But hey, they're rich in that coin, so why not play in it? Right?
Exactly, and this could be the perfect opportunity to dump into awaiting liquidity. And in order to do that, maybe they gotta motivate the price a little bit, right? Maybe the prices have to be pumped a bit to get retail to start buying in.
Well, yeah, retail is pretty unsavvy. Like, imagine you look at Bitcoin, you're like, man, Bitcoin's already $50,000 almost, but Bitcoin Cash is like $700. I mean, what's the difference, right?
Hey, Bitcoin's Bitcoin. Do you want to buy
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all good. Do you want to buy the $40,000 Bitcoin, or do you want to buy the $28 Bitcoin Gold? I mean, it's Bitcoin's Bitcoin, right? Buy it up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can't tell these coins apart, guys. I'm new to this space.
I certainly couldn't when I was new. I remember I spent like a few hours when I was trying to purchase Bitcoin and be like, wait. So is Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin? And then you go to the Bitcoin Cash website and they're like, yeah, Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is Bitcoin Core. And that is not true Bitcoin, because Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. Because Roger Ver, of course, Veer was, going around confusing everybody. And I remember being super confused. And it's hard to remember that, because you and I, Jack, we've been in the market for so many years now. But it's super confusing. I mean, they've got the same name. And then you think, well, maybe it's just like an improved version of Bitcoin, because you don't really understand what hash power is, and that, because these things don't have hash power, they're very insecure, because you can 51% attack them easily, etc.
Yes, indeed. All right, so that is a quick look at the bubbles. Sushi up 17%. Flow, not sure what the hell Flow is. Flow, Dapper Labs up 20%. That's a new one to me. Nano up 14%. GRT up 15%. Yep, so some winners in the space, guys. Yep, if you went to bed thinking the sky is falling, no, you're waking up to another bullish Monday in the crypto markets. Okay, I'm gonna...
Some of these, I feel like they are just, kind of recovering a little after having a huge dump, and then they're going to dump more. But some of them are going to continue. Just like Kusama, great example. There's something I was, kind of bearish on, said take profits last week, but then as you can see what Kusama did.
Yes, Kusama went absolutely ballistic overnight, so just my luck. Kusama currently at $202. Maybe I'll catch the next pullback. Bitcoin still looking like a wild hammer doji on the day, currently at 48,600. Okay, let's quickly shout out the audience. Yes, I missed these guys over the weekend. Something about taking a few days off from not doing the show. Well, you don't really do the show on weekends, but still, weekend goes by, I miss all the regulars. Let's see who is in here first. Ron Legato, was in here first. Shout outs to Ron. Jose Alves came in shortly after then. Let's see here. Ron Legato saying successful weekend, and the wife is happy. Excellent. Wayne Arnott is in here. Rodney Lauer, Jose Alves, I mentioned, the channel supporter. Excellent. Peckham08 is in here, gloating about his Falcon swap trade. Congrats. We got Mr. H in here, which I think is Mr. Hyatt. Evening people, I don't know how you all do it. Yes, sometimes I wonder how our analysts keep up with all this. Mikaw Smith is in here. Hope someone bought the BCH when I called it the other day. Another person gloating in the live chat about another call. Yes, some of our live chat viewers are very astute, guys. Some of the stuff that they post is quality. Pablo Gutierrez, nice to see you. I sent you a link. Yes, we got Crypto Bull in here. We have ANCAP Futures, another live chat supporter. Thank you so much. We got B-Flow in here. We got Dark Rico. We have Crypto Cat. We have Floyd. Polly B, of course. Ruben Santos, nice to see you as always. Crypto Bull saying, I think there will be another March crash. Being 1 year from the major dip crash in all markets now is no longer short-term gains. All right, so Crypto Bull predicting another March meltdown. Guys, I thought it was starting last night. Apparently, I was wrong, but who knows? Maybe this will be a double fake out. Remains to be seen. Henry Lauer, thoughts on yeah, we'll look into that. Topher Dowling in here. Dr. Fasoana. Alex will be back on track. Okay, we'll get into that shortly. Agencies in here, of course. And finally, who else do I have left? I have Crypto Informant, or whatever his name was before. The guy previously known as Crypto Investor, I think it was. Either way, he goes by CI now. CI, welcome. Challenged Investor, that's the one. Yeah. Crypto Informant. Whoop, I was off by a bit. The Salt Mine.
He's no narc. Don't talk about CI like that.
Somebody's narking us, man. Somebody's always coming through here and narking us out to YouTube saying these guys provide the hottest signals in the game. Somebody shut him down. It's going to overheat the market. Yes, that's how we get baited out. You heard it here. Okay, guys. That would be mostly everybody. If I missed you, my apologies. Shout outs to you guys. Now, for anybody wondering where Jason is on the road. He's driving back home, but I think there was a lot of snow blowing through the Midwest over the weekend. I think
he said it was a little dangerous, so he wasn't sure if he would make it in time. So, we told him, hey, drive safely, man.
Yep, drive safe. Jason, if you're listening in right now, don't worry, bud. We will hold your seat nice and warm for you. Adam Cohen, what's good? Yes, nice to see you as well. Adam Cohen with the message coming in right now. All right, guys, I have shouted out everyone. We've looked at some of the quick market overview. Before we get into the main analysis, I just got a couple quick news stories I want to bring up. All right, here's this first one from Yahoo Finance. Morgan Stanley may bet on Bitcoin in a $150 billion investment arm. Apparently, Morgan Stanley is investing $150 billion. Known for picking growth stocks, is now considering adding Bitcoin to its list of possible bets. Counterpoint Global, a unit of Morgan Stanley Investment Management that racks up wins in mutual fund rankings, is exploring whether the cryptocurrency would be a suitable option for its investors. According to people with knowledge on the matter, moving ahead with investments would require approval by the firm and regulators. Alright, so I'm not going to go too much further into this, but apparently Morgan Stanley, just another big banking operation that's looking to diversify into Bitcoin through one of their subsidiaries. So, when is Morgan Stanley going to buy the $150 billion? Please let us know, because I would like to catch that wave, that pump, before it takes off. But apparently they're still in talks, so it might be a little ways away. But yeah, another bank after we discussed BNY Mellon, Bank of New York Mellon, that we discussed just last week. How much did they allocate? $1.5 billion? I don't know. I think they bought up a bunch. So
a lot of money.
They bought up some stuff. All right. I saw, Alex, you posted this to the Usepulse Premium, a very interesting tweet. It does put the last few halvings in perspective and where we are now. Let me see if this is visible on screen. All right, I might have to shrink it down a touch. Here we go. Is this a little better? No, not great. All right, just give me a second, guys. I want to make sure this is... I I'll make sure this is nice and clear for the audience so they can see it. This current view does not make it super conducive. Just give me another second in here. I will drag this sucker up. All right, here we go. So you are looking at the last few halvings charted out here, and I guess they're kind of overlaid to show you the price action. So let's see here.
Yeah, so they essentially they set it to the same starting point, like wherever the bottom was for that particular the start of the market, and then run it forward.
Indeed. So if we were to follow a similar trend as before, we might still have quite a bit of upside left in this market right now, as you can see. So we can see that we're a little earlier in the halving cycle here. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. Besides, there's still lots of room left in this tank. If this pattern repeats itself, well, we're gonna blast off to unbelievable highs. So if I were to apply, from the back of my head, the stock to flow model, it does kind of align with this. Are we looking at a potential $250,000 or more Bitcoin this cycle? That would be wild. It goes to show you that yes, we are still early in this, and something I think we frequently describe on the show, that yes, this whole bull market could go another 8 months, at least to the end of the year. Heck, it could last another few years. So if anybody was wondering where we are along the path to glory, well, this is it. Apparently still early. All right, finally Alpha Team releases post-mortem. Yeah, anybody might have noticed over the weekend, alpha.finance DeFi app got creamed, of course. Post-mortem and updates been released following an attack on Cream Finance product yesterday.
I see what you did.
Yes, the exploit, which made use of products developed by Alpha Finance Labs, saw $38 million in stolen. So I think this was another flash loan type exploit. Yes, so the platform experienced an exploit, resulted in a hacker running off with $37 million. This involved another DeFi project, Alpha Finance Lab. Alpha released a post-mortem explaining exactly how the hacker was able to use the exploit. Alpha team pointed out user funds remained safe. They were quick to patch the issue and suspend the use of the product. Yes, it required a hot fix investigation.
I think so I've been hearing some talk amongst individuals in the sector, because I'm on a lot of different Discord servers, and I talk to a lot of different traders, and people think it's really interesting how all these projects that Anye Cronier is a part of keep getting hacked in very sophisticated, like blockchain coding based attacks. Like these flash loans, like making the code in Solidity to do the hacks. Like not just anybody could do these things. A lot of people don't even know Solidity is a coding language. And then if you scroll down here, like right there, you had it on the screen, the paragraph starting, the post-mortem points out. Do you see that paragraph? So the post-mortem points out the Alpha team placed the SUSD pool on the Hamora Bank V2 contract in preparation for an upcoming release. Information on this contract was not publicly available, and it's not accessible through the user interface. This suggests the hacker possessed a degree of inside knowledge in order to carry out the attack. So what I am not saying it's necessarily like Anye Cronier is doing it, but it would only take one or two people on his team, passing information to people to make these projects just so unsafe to be a part of. Like these are prototype projects. People are putting millions and millions of dollars into them, and it's very curious how just how sophisticated these attacks are, and they always seem to be. It always seemed to be a little questionable. Like, how did this person know how to pull this off?
Yep. I'm sure at times like this they don't want to cast aspersions and claim that it's, nobody wants to go there and say, oh, it might have been an inside job, it might have been one of us. But yes, the fact that it did require a bit of sophisticated insider information, it makes
Yeah, how
you
can you
wonder.
hack the contract if no one knows the contract is there except for the team? Well, maybe someone on the team's involved. I mean, it didn't take its rocket scientist.
Yeah, maybe we give him benefit of the doubt. Maybe we can presume that somehow some clever individual out there is somehow observing things on the blockchain in a way that gives them the needed information to attack. With that said, just a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of moral hazard potentially, right? When you have teams of anonymous developers, you who don't really know each, like there's just so much opportunity, right? If you're on the inside and you're looking at potentially a multi-million-dollar windfall that you can exploit and disappear into the wind with, blame them potentially. It's not necessarily what I would do. Okay, I'm a pretty ethical and honorable guy, even if I'm babysitting millions of dollars on the blockchain. I personally wouldn't do something like this, guys. But again, there's people all around the world. They have different ethics, and when you're looking at millions of dollars, can you really blame them? It's the way it goes. How many of these exploits have we seen over the last few years, which were just, opportunities. You figure someone wasn't planning on maybe executing this attack, yet I guess when the stars aligned and the opportunity was there, someone said, "Oh God, I'm looking at millions of dollars unsecured here. Whatever. I'll worry about the consequences later. Let's take the money and run." Imagine having $27 million of crypto today. All right. I think we covered the news for now. I got to transition in next scene. Alex's charts next. We're going to get started with the TA and get this day rolling. Yes, and Jason's still heading home. Alright, we'll get maybe Jason tuning into the show a little later. Transition here. Let's see here. Let's get Alex's screen up on the board. Alright. For some reason, I'm not.
Let's go. What's up?
Alright, we're looking at Alex's screen. Currently looking at the USD chart on the 4-hour.
Yep.
I'm going to dive into the live chat, guys. I'm going to start collecting everybody's requests. You know how we do requests. We take them in order as they come in and slowly grind away at everybody's exciting chart requests. I'm going to head into the background, let Alex do his thing for now, and I'll be back.
Okay. So, you guys know I have been fairly bearish. It's somewhere between a bear and a bull. I've been bearish. I've been bearish for the last week and a half, 2 weeks or so, as we've approached this 4,800 resistance area. While I feel a little vindicated by the dump that we had, it's not enough to necessarily convince me that we are definitely reversing in this spot. We have a long signal here on Bitcoin that we did take yesterday afternoon. So this was the signal right here. I mean, we had a break of this resistance, and we got the cross up. So I took the signal for the group, but that's the only signal we took yesterday. Everything was just such a mixed bag. We had so many exit signals on all the alts. There was really nothing that could be. There was really nothing to take. I think we did get a 3-day close yesterday. I do think it's interesting that we've kind of, as you can see, we've kind of run out of momentum on higher time frames a little bit right here. See, we had a big candle, and then a medium candle, small candle. Now, the candle opening here is, suggestive that we may continue downwards. After all, we did make a. Is this a lower low here? This is not a lower low. This is arguably an equivalent low right here. So we don't even have a lower low yet. So I'm not convinced enough where I'm like, okay, cancel all orders, everybody out of the markets, dump all the alts. We're just not there yet. Even though I felt bearish, we're not going to do anything until we have some confirmation, until we have evidence in front of us. And right now, all we have is, it's suggestive that we may continue to dump here. If we close the day up like this, then that's bullish. We dumped below resistance, but if we close back above it, then it's probably just shaking off over leverage longs. So you can imagine people got very long in this area over the weekend, right? Well, they all got slapped in the face. So so we're just not there yet. But I do think that it is interesting that we're crossing below. We're trapped below resistance in this area, and we continue to be. There's not much more to say. So for Ethereum, on lower time frames, you can see we have this lower high and this lower low. I think the Ethereum chart is. It depends on how you want to look at it. On lower time frames, I don't see how you can be anything but bearish in this spot right here. We break down from this rising wedge. As you can see, we are trapped below this area. All these people are trapped buyers who are looking to get out. Let's see here. But when you put it on the daily, if we close the day up here, then what a bullish candle, right? So it's going to depend a lot on how today closes. If we're able to hold this area. Now, we're approaching it on not decreasing volume, but just nothing spectacular, right? People aren't necessarily feeling it in this spot. And I think that's understandable. Most people aren't really sure what to do. The people who were really sure about Ethereum longed Ethereum in this area. On another server that I'm in, there was some guy who was almost in tears. He just 5x longed the hell out of Bitcoin and Ethereum at the top. And then, we had these pullbacks. So those are trapped buyers. That's what it means for there to be trapped buyers above us. There's people who are desperate to get out of longs that they took in this area. So I really do feel like we'll continue to pull back a little bit here on Ethereum. And we had a sell signal here yesterday. So for right now, we're definitely not looking to be long, but we're also not looking to be short either. We're above the daily baseline. We're not below zero on our oscillator. We don't really have enough momentum or anything. It's only suggestive at this point, but currently, yeah, I do still feel bearish on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Sorry, go ahead.
I have a comment here from Dr. First. So, Alex, are we back on track with respect to the bearish wedge you mentioned in your analysis today? Just wondering, do you know what that relates to, the bearish wedge from your analysis from the premium?
Yeah, I put up a market analysis. I talked a little bit about this wedge.
So do you think we're back on track?
So yeah, I think I did just cover it. So you're right. That is on topic.
Howdy, fellas.
Hey!
Hey!
Look who the cat dragged in.
5 hours of driving just to come talk to your beautiful face.
Welcome back. Hope you had time to settle in, though.
You didn't crash, right?
No, not at all. I just got back. Like, the shitty thing is, like I said, I forgot my computer charger over the weekend, so I come back to my desk and it's just sitting on it. So I haven't been able to have my computer all weekend. So I got quite a few trades to update.
Sounds like you had a little time away. Good break away to kind of...
It's good because it come back to the show and it seems like everyone's freaking out about yesterday's price action, and I was sitting pretty comfortable. It recovered and we're still above. Like all those alts hit TP1, but probably a lot of them got stopped out at either break even or TP1, and then sold off overnight there, but got right back up.
I'm sure we're we're out of all the alts on mine. We only have Bitcoin open on CC Official right now.
Yeah, I think I just have NXS and BTC. There might be a couple. Like I said, I just got home, so I'm gonna have to go over after the show.
Great band, great band.
Really, really good weekend, man. Really
All right.
good weekend.
If you need to take a minute or whatever, again, if you just came in, Jason, do not feel pressured to just suddenly join the show. We'll leave your spot open here.
You think I lost it?
If you have to do anything, do it now. Let Alex cover the charts. And yeah, welcome to the show.
Good to be back.
Gotta have a coffee or anything? Just do your thing.
Yeah, I'll be in it.
All right. So yeah, how about that bearish wedge?
Yeah. So like I said, in a sense, it's a meme. The bearish wedge is very obvious, but it is what it is. We have the evidence that we have in front of us, and we'll trade the signals that we get. So as you can see, the kind of recovery that we have experienced on alts. So this happened overnight, and the recovery since then. Overnight recovery, overnight, and then the recovery. We're still below resistance on all of these alt baskets. So as far as the alt indices are concerned, we don't have any new signals here. We've got sell signals. We have sell signals that we took yesterday, and then we're kind of waiting for more information. I do see this. I'm of two minds here. So as you can see on lower time frames, we've sort of held the trend, right? I mean, we're still above the 12-hour baseline. We're still above this trend line here on mid-perp. Sure, we're below resistance, and there's trap buyers, but
we could sorta about it, man. That's still very intact.
Yeah, it's just there's no sense in getting bearish yet. At the very least, we'll trade sideways in this area for a little bit before we dump. So there's just no reason to worry yet, I think, about that the alts are going to go directly to hell right away.
I think the sentiment that should be grabbed out of that is what Alex ended it with, and you don't need to be in a rush at this point. It's going to prove to you at this point either going sideways. So there's time. So don't sweat it.
Yeah. One thing I consider bearish about this chart is how buyers really stepped in last night on increasing volume. And that's almost the sort of thing that you see when a downtrend is likely to continue. You ordinarily, if we see decreasing volume on this, then that's when the uptrend is likely to continue. So here are the sell signals that we're talking about. Sell signal. We got it right here. I think we got this sell signal a couple days ago. Yeah. So right now we're waiting on fresh buy signals. We're waiting on fresh breaks of resistance. You guys know how I am. We need confirmation before we go in again. So we're in limbo. We're just in wait and see mode on a lot of these things. So I think what we should do is we should look at individual alts, because markets are all diverged right now and they're doing individual things. This is giving us a good idea of what the market in general is doing for the different alts. Exchange coins I think look really weak right here, which is fine. They've had a super big run. As you can see, they're up like 2x in this month alone. So a small pullback here wouldn't be out of the ordinary here. But for the rest of the alts, it's not necessarily clear yet. Why don't we go ahead and look at the chart requests so that we can look at individual alts?
Yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's see here. We've got Ron Legato mentioned a comment for Alex. New nickname, Billy Bearlish.
Yep.
You mean Billy Bearish?
No.
I said something was bearish earlier.
Yeah, he got tongue-tied. He said something about bearish. Ron Legato dubbing him officially the new Billy Bearlish. Alex's career in pop music
Take it off.
is about to take off. Yes. All right, let's get into the first request. All right, I bumped Johnny up to the front on the line today. Last week, John, I think it was on Friday, Johnny DM'd me, but I have my notifications off when I'm streaming, so I don't hear anybody DMing me. Johnny, I felt bad we weren't able to get to your request on Friday, so I bumped you up to the front of the line today. I did notice they're the same pack of requests from Friday, so let's entertain Johnny's request. Could we take a look at Neo, ICX, QSP, and HBAR, please, guys? Thanks a million. All right, let's start with Neo.
Man, I tried to get that baseline pullback on Neo, and it just never came back. It just kept going.
Yeah.
Would have been a great trade. I found it super curious that just looking at my Coinbase profile and the allocation that I have there, during that dump, it did dump off, but then I looked at it this morning, and it's higher than it even ever was. Like, alts are recovering so fast.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I would suggest to you to just keep holding Neo. The weekly here looks strong enough that maybe we will pull back, but we'll continue. So you can see we kind of, this area right here is our long-term resistance that I'll draw you guys a box, so it's a little obvious.
My sentiment is slowly.
Yeah, this area right here is like our resistance / support. We get a fake out here, trap below it, break up, hold it, break up here. So I would be looking to keep holding Neo at least until the $7,500 range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I don't think you should abandon Neo just yet. I mean, especially if you've been holding this long, buddy. Just keep holding, man. You've crossed the Rubicon. Like, that's the worst is over. So I would less be looking to find an exit, and then just try and figure out where the top of the next alt season is going to be.
Because now psychologically you have the edge, because when you look at that chart, like, other people are like, man, I wish I was in this. Like, you're already in this, and it can keep going. So don't get scared out of your position. Just be patient, because like Alex said, the worst is over now. You've already made the move, so now take a little bit of profit and let the rest ride.
Okay, so Neo, HBAR.
Similar charts, huh?
Get
in on that buy zone. It'll definitely still happen at some point.
At some point, yeah, but we didn't ever really come back down into this area. I think I set this like in this area, like we want to buy here, but it never happened. HBAR is just still going, man.
Hadera.
Yeah. Let's see if we've got any more. Yeah, no real signs of weakness, and as a matter of fact, today we've made a new high. It won't be a continuation signal, but everything looks good here. There's no reason yet to look to be dumping HBAR on any significant time frame that we're trading on. Can you remind me the other two, please? There was Neo, HBAR, ICX. Right?
ICX, correct.
Super bullish, man. Yeah,
looking good.
Yeah, dude, this is pulling a Kusama. There's no reason to be worried here, and I believe these are new all-time highs. Let's see here. Not quite yet.
Just about.
Nope. We got to look at even more data.
Well, I mean, there you go.
I would not look to take profit until like $5, maybe even $15, man. Just keep holding in this area. Do not let go of ICX.
Man, so many exciting charts out there right now.
Yeah. So you guys, I hope you guys will see what I mean. Some of these alts are still super bullish looking, and there is no reason to drop them yet. And then we'll look at others, and they're still kind of meh looking after last night. So this is an example of something that is likely to just keep continuing here. So, what's next?
QSP. Did we do QSP?
We have not done quant stamp.
All right, let's quick look at quant stamp.
Yep, similar story here. As you can see, we break over long time resistance support. See, support here, resistance, resistance, resistance. Break over it. We hold it on this 3-day candle. And we retest it again here. So I think as long as we stay above 5 cents on quant stamp, then we are likely to continue. If we broke back below 5 cents over the next few days, then I would maybe look to be out. But look at this consolidation area we've had since September. I think quant stamp is going to continue on, like we've seen on so many other coins, right? Breakdown in September, long consolidation, and then make new highs, right? We've seen that pattern on all these different alt charts, right? So I think I would just stay in quant stamp. But if you're looking for an out, then get out below 5 cents. That's the best way to do it.
All right, I think that wraps up your thoughts on quant.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, someone observed that they're having trouble finding the stream today. I went in and checked, and I can confirm we are shadow banned today, guys.
Yeah, I couldn't even find the stream myself.
Yep.
Like,
son of a
what
gun.
did we do?
You know what, guys? I've been slowly adding in more crypto-related keywords into the title, into the description, into the tags, because, as you know, for a long time I suspected certain crypto keywords get us shadow banned, and I've been, like I say, incrementally adding them back in, and they're gone. We've been shadow banned, so I'm thinking I'm gonna have to remove them for tomorrow's stream. I don't know what it is, guys. If you put Bitcoin in the description or crypto and a few other things, it's like eventually triggers the shadow ban. They figure you're scamming people.
Well, this is anybody's opportunity that's watching to help us, like to get to our Twitter, retweet what we're doing, just so that the URL gets out there to more people, because YouTube makes it real hard on us.
Yep, I'm going to have to go back to scaling down what I put in the description and in the tagline and all that, so...
But I do have to say that I love that even though we're being shadow banned, in the past we'd sit around like 20 to 40 people maybe, and now we're sitting at like a solid 67, so there are more of you that are coming back. So
Thank
Thank you all for liking us so much, and if you haven't yet, be sure to like and subscribe.
All right, let's get into the next request. Here we go. This next one comes from JG, one of our channel supporters. Thank you so much for your support. It's classic Bart Top weekend, he says. It's a Ponzi scheme action. Unbelievable, really, with all the big guys buying Bitcoin. We are $52,000 inbound. Traditional markets are going to go up tomorrow, and so are we. All right,
I would actually agree with him.
You're right, man.
That
I think traditional markets look so bullishly postured as we open tomorrow. It's almost a shame they didn't open this morning, because I could have been more sure about what was going to happen in all the markets if I could have seen what was happening in traditionals. But
yeah, I agree with what he said. I mean, not so much the Ponzi, but I do believe that. Like, that's why I didn't get shooken out of my position. I was absolutely expecting volatility to the downside like that. I didn't not sleep a wink, you know, like it didn't bother me at all. But I do think that we're going to be heading to the lower 50s right now.
Okay, then.
We will see.
Thank you, JG, for your comment. And let's get into the next request. This comes from Rodney Lauer. Possible continuation for Link, he asks. Daily looking like a good one for the Bulls. Also, Ocean would be much appreciated. All right, let's take a quick look at Link first.
I am not convinced on Link.
Need to see a higher high on that.
Yeah, I want to see a higher high, that's all. If we close the day up at all, then I would suggest to you that this probably is a continuation signal. I mean, it's not technically, because it's a cross up. That's a continuation signal, like, you know, like this where we cross down and then we cross up. We didn't really get that here. But you can see that the market kind of did that on lower time frames. Maybe like on the 12-hour, you could take a signal. But again, you would remember what I said about trapped buyers and about resistance overhead. So you want the confirmation of a break of resistance, and then if you got that, you could be much more assured that Link would continue onwards, and that this wasn't just a little bit of a recovery. As people who've been trained to buy the dip, just kind of do that, and then they get dumped on by the larger market participants. So I don't want to say that it won't continue on here, because it could very well. Like we've looked at several that they were just very bullish looking, and when you look at this on the 3-day, then if we could just keep going for right now. But you want to wait for the confirmation, okay, guys? So I would just wait before I took a signal on Link for a new closed daily high. What's next?
All right, Rodney Lauer, thank you for the link request. The other half of his question related to Ocean. What are your thoughts on Ocean?
Yes. Well, you can see we ran out of momentum here with this big rejection wick from trend-based fib resistance. So someone had waiting orders up in this area. We reverse, we come down. I feel like what is likely to happen on Ocean is we will wander back up to retest the highs here of around $1.25, $1.30.
I don't think it'll wander. I think it'll shoot up.
You think it's just gonna shoot up here?
I think it's gonna be a descending channel breakout and shoot back up to at least to the highs.
Yeah, I want to see it retest the highs here, but I do think it will ultimately break down towards 80 cents. I don't see as much bullish momentum here at resistance. Anyway, I think I would want to see a break of this resistance level, or at least a cross up before I went in here, because for right now, what we have here is we have a sell signal on the daily, as you can see. So nothing really to do here on Ocean. We will keep our eyes on it, but I feel like it might pull back just a little bit more here. And maybe only just to retest the previous highs in this area. It's not like I think this won't continue onwards here.
No,
right.
Because I don't know on whether it's going to break or not. I just think in the short term, that pattern looks like it's going to test the highs before it does anything.
Yeah, let's come up here and do that first.
Yep.
So, what's next?
Let's get into the next one, guys. Here we go. You know what? Super chat just came in from Crypto Rich. $2 super chat. He says, "Keep it up." Thank you so much, Crypto Rich. We do appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, we do try our best to deliver you the finest TA from a daily crypto YouTube podcast. What can I say? All right. Next request. Thank you, Rodney Lauer, for that one. We've got a 3-pack from Ruben Santos. He wants to look at Theta, Cardano, and ZIL, all USDT
I really wish
pairs.
Ruben would run for like Senate or something, because I would vote for that name.
Good name, Ruben
Yeah,
Santos.
that's a name
sure.
you can trust.
Yes.
Yeah, Ruben Santos on your side.
Theta looks like it may pull a Kusama here, right? This is a very similar looking chart. Let's
still in Theta, currently up 19%.
You're still in Theta? Very nice, very nice.
Yep.
Are you going to get stopped out by this? It was kind of a small wick down.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't have my computer, so any of my signals that did hit, I didn't get to move the stop losses to break even, which Theta was.
Yeah.
And even if it did, well, it clearly didn't. So I'm looking at my 3 commas, but my stop loss is still at my regular entry point. So even if it did wick down there, I wouldn't have got stopped.
Okay.
But like I said, even in the group, that I think Theta is going to be a sleeper. So like, be careful, because I think with all the news, like it's one of the only times that I actually have looked at any news. Like Theta actually has some opportunities here with how high gas is getting.
Yeah, same with Polkadot, Theta, Polkadot.
Yeah.
All the quote-unquote Ethereum killers. I mean, I don't mean to use scare quotes, but I just mean like that's what people call them. All the Ethereum killers are, obviously they look more attractive when you're paying $200 for a transaction on Ethereum.
But yeah, now it's getting to be like noticeable.
I would say that we may even have a continuation signal soon. Maybe not today, because it doesn't look like it's going to be bullish enough to cross. Let me look at the Bitcoin pairing. Feels like we're still at resistance with regards to the Bitcoin pairing, right? You can see we've got long time resistance overhead. But then again, the 3-day looks pretty bullish. Let's see the weekly.
Likely. That is, you really, if that had a higher high on that wick, I would have been a little happier. But it is bullish.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is only a day old. This weekly candlestick.
Yeah,
so,
still a lot of time.
Yeah.
I really can't envision that thing close in red.
You know, this is a higher weekly high. We do break this high right here. You know what? I just don't think you can be bearish on Theta Bitcoin in this spot. It could still go either way because we are trading at resistance, but the higher time frames look very bullish here. If I had to pick a direction, I would say Theta up.
I would say the same thing about Sushi. Sushi looks like that chart, but it had a higher high.
Yeah, I maybe I'm not happy with all these wicks up here, but we've got the higher high. I think we should remain bearish on Theta right here. You know, until the markets really show us that it's time to be bullish on alts, we should just stay bearish. Until it's time to stay bearish on alts, we should just stay bullish on alts like we have been. You know, and Bitcoin dominance is telling us that, you know, right now not much has changed in the markets with regards to Bitcoin versus the alts. We're still just kind of trading sideways down. You can see even on the weekly, we haven't really budged very much. You know, at the end of last week, we were at 61.8%. Now we're at 61.3%. That's not a very huge move over 3 weeks, you know? So as far as Bitcoin dominance is, you know, this data is telling us that, you know, just stay in alts. The game is, you know, the game is not afoot in Bitcoin. Let's look at some more requests.
Did we cover Cardano and Zill? Sorry,
I definitely didn't. Okay.
Right. Also, Rodney Lauer in live chat just commented, "Dot is an Ethereum killer?" ? I thought Dot was supposed to help ETH with gas prices. Yeah, depending on how you look at it, Dot is either a direct competitor or
Polkadot is its own chain. It's its own thing. It was started by one of the co-founders of Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken. Gavin something? I mean, his name's probably not.
It's Gavin. It's Gavin Woods, and
I was right.
It's certainly. I've certainly heard of it. I've certainly heard Polkadot described as being complementary to Ethereum rather than being an outright replacement for it. I've heard people say that one day.
I feel like those are just apologists who are trying to placate people who are Ethereum fans. It's not true. It's like there's no if Theta was the superior product, there's no reason to use Ethereum instead of Theta.
Well, we're talking about Dot.
It's a superior product. I'm just saying that it's not a great argument.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
All right, let's not distract Alex too much longer. Let's look at Cardano, and just because we have a few requests, excuse me, to still get to. That's right, cough it up.
What does it mean? My love.
It still feels like we're beneath resistance here on ADA. It's a very suggestive recovery wick, but I'm not necessarily sold on it yet, because we do have all those trapped buyers above us in this spot with ADA. ADA Bitcoin, too, is still just at resistance. We don't really have a sign of a break upwards here yet. Although, like I said, a wick like this, normally you do wander upwards again, just to fuck over all these people before we dump down. So I'm not saying necessarily head for the hills here on ADA. Well, the trend is still intact. I guess I don't like that we're below the 12-hour baseline, but we've held the daily baseline. Let's move this out of the way. Did we retest all the way down to this previous high with this wick? Huh. Maybe we will just continue onwards here with ADA. I would look to see if we close above this resistance here. If we can't climb back above it, then that's not a great sign. But if we are able to climb back above it and hold it, then I think ADA can really go for it here. Now that we've broken this long-term resistance and support level. See, support, resistance. And at that point, I would look for it to do like another 2x or so up to this area. There was ADA and ZIL. Let's look at ZIL.
Finally, ZIL. Yep.
We have this sell signal so there's nothing that we can do right now. This chart reminds me a lot of both THETA's chart and Kusama's chart. We had this consolidation area and then pump up. Like Link, I want to see just a new high right here before we were to take this. And getting that new high, I think, would also give us a continuation signal here. We just cross back up, continue onwards. Until we got some sort of extra confirmation. You guys know I don't like, buying the tops of areas like this. There's just not a good place to put our stop, really. What's next? I think that really covers that.
I think that covers that trio from Ruben Santos. Yeah, a lot of those charts are shaping up and looking a bit like Kusama, so here we are waiting for the big blow-off, big pump-up green candle. All right, Henry Lauer, live chat, requesting thoughts on REEF Finance, the Binance Launchpad Super Token. What's that up to?
Nothing for us to do in this moment. As you can see, we have this daily sell signal. The trend is holding right now, but I would take some profits in this area. I mean, we've got a sell signal. We're awfully close to this trend here. And then, if we made a new high, and then I think it'd be interesting for a re-entry or continuation signal. But yeah, as you can see here on the 3-day, we've got kind of a little bit of a lost momentum, right? This 3-day candle couldn't even make a higher high. So Now we're starting to pull back a little. Oh, well, you guys know I have a tendency to be a little too bearish sometimes. I don't want to talk anybody out of some alt gains, but there's nothing wrong with taking profits after a really good trade, especially when we're starting to look a little bit like a pullback. So that's my advice on REEF. What's next?
All right, let's get into the next one. That was REEF Finance for Mr. Lauer. All right, got an hour left in the show, and well, thankfully for the shadow ban, not as much traffic through here, and therefore not as many requests. Still a handsome amount of requests nonetheless to get through. This next one is for BFlow and PolyB, both requesting Adam. BFlow says, Adam,
Okay.
USDT ripe for continuation? Question mark.
Yes, this is ripe for continuation. Yeah. We were basically on Friday, we were at resistance, and I said we would probably experience a pullback. And we did, and boom. It just stopped out anybody who had a stop set and then continue onwards. I don't know what today would have to end like for us to be back below this resistance level. But I probably wouldn't be too concerned about that happening. At this point, you can't get a daily long signal. We won't cross up to get it. But you could maybe take it on the 12-hour here. I would. Maybe I'll consider putting that up for the group. I don't really like putting on signals underneath the daily time frame. Because it's not like I'm gonna go and do stuff at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Every 12-hour candle. So, but if you're trying to find a way to get in here, then yeah, I would take the 12-hour here because I just don't see it coming back down. What's next?
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Adam, is one of the ones where it is clear that there is going to be a continuation. Some of them it's less clear, some of them it's more clear. I really like Adam here. So.
All right.
What's next?
Adam looking prime for continuation. Let's get into the next one. This one comes from Crypto Bull Vet. Vet USDT, please.
Okay.
That should be one that I'm still in as well. Stop loss. Yeah.
Well, if we close today above this resistance, like it currently looks like we might, then I would consider this bullish. What's the Bitcoin pairing look like?
In my ladder.
This is nice. We've got this. Essentially, we've got this retest of this previous consolidation area high.
Breakout.
Yeah.
Seems to be holding.
The 4-hour looks very strong here, doesn't it?
Yeah, you'd have to wait for the next 4-hour close on that to see if it rejects, but
yeah,
because that could be a swing failure.
It could be.
But it looks super strong on all time.
Yeah. And then here's the 3-day. Like this looks good for continuation, right? So we move up, we pull back last night, and then we're back up here. I would suggest to you that is likely to continue in this spot. I think it's going to be a good trade. The USDT pair is unclear at this time. Well, at least on the daily. On the 3-day, there's not much to complain about. But I would just wait for the new high to go in, or if you're already in, I would just keep holding. So, what's next?
Okay, let's hop into the next request. This one is for agency UNISTAKE, please.
All right.
Shoutouts to agency, by the way, who renewed his premium subscription over the weekend. He took advantage of the Valentine's Day offer. Shoutouts.
I hope you're falling in love, bud.
All over again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we do have a break of trend here.
That chart just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculously vertical. From 1 cent to 25 cents.
She's like, yep. Someone was up that night and saw the Extends commercial.
Not a bad month. Just 2 weeks. Easy 25x, right, guys?
Boom.
Boom. I don't like this break of trend. I don't like that it feels like we've got a lot of resistance in this area.
This would be a moment that you just need to be patient and see what holds. If it breaks down, it breaks down.
Yeah.
But if it holds and makes it a higher high, you're likely to continue this.
Yeah. I would look for a new high right now if you're looking to get long. The risk reward is not fantastic. You'd be wanting to take it to resistance, and your stop is like down here. It's like a 1-to-1. So I think I would definitely wait for more of a pullback towards 10 cents if I were looking to enter this on a dip, and if it just had a breakout, then I would wait for the break above 33 cents, so 34, 35 cents, that area. That's probably the best way to play it, because right now, entering in this area, it could go either way. What's next?
All right. Thank you, agency, for the UNISTAKE request. Getting into, well, we got a generous assortment here from Bird. Bird saying, care to take a look at any of the following: BAT, BCH, Stellar, MATIC. Caught the exact low on all of them. Perfect baseline bounces. All right, so apparently BAT, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar, MATIC all had nice baseline bounces. Do you want to review any of those, Alex? Any of those sound interesting to you?
Sure. We can take a look at them. So BAT here did not quite reach my baseline. I presume you've got a different baseline from me. On the 12-hour, you're seeing what we saw on a lot of the 12 hours, where we weren't anywhere near the daily baseline, but we did catch up to the 12-hour baseline on a lot of these. I still see this as an awful lot of resistance overhead. Look at all the volume in these candles right here. This is trapped buyers above us right here. Trapped buyers. So I'm not super excited about BAT in this spot the way I am about some of the other alts. This is an awfully long consolidation period.
It's like a spring.
Potentially, yeah.
Take it all the way back up to that red line, baby.
Yeah, the previous consolidation area.
You have my basic attention.
Yeah, on the one hand, I don't see anything that is impressing me or giving me a long signal, but I also can't help but feel that BAT kind of doesn't have anywhere to go but up in this position. I mean, we did just retest this previous resistance area, which is something that I would look for. There's just nothing for us to do on BAT right now. It could continue. It could pull back a little bit more. I can't make heads or tails of it right now. But our system is telling us to just be out right now. So we'll just listen to that. And then if we get a continuation signal, we get one. There was BAT, is BCH. So I remember talking about, I told you guys about BCH right here on Friday, if you will recall. We had this break of the downtrend right here. I was pretty interested in. I hope some of you guys took that. I said it was unlikely that we would go completely vertical, but we ended up going completely vertical. So overall, I would suggest, because on the 3-day here, we've closed above resistance, and now we've just retested it. I would suggest BCH is likely to continue going. I'm still holding on to the BCH position I opened up last week. I think I scored it around 550, 560, something like that. It's like this area. I just don't see any need to dump it. Look at BCH USD on a long-term basis here. We've got even longer, more long-term. Where's?
Give us the data.
Yes. All right, Bitstamp will do. Look how long of a consolidation period this thing has. So this is back in 2017. It enters the downtrend.
I think I get rid of your baseline to see it right.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to. So we break out of this downtrend in 2019, but we just trade sideways for so long. Just this inordinately boring amount of time that if you're trying to if you're trying to make money off of BCH, you're not doing it. And then we finally break up off of this $250 point of control, move up. I think BCH is just going to keep going here. I'm definitely
Step pattern.
Yeah, this is kind of step-stair pattern,
Mm-hmm. Boom.
And then we've got this very strong weekly signal too, weekly continuation signal right here. I'm not even holding it for anywhere in particular. I will wait for exit signals on longer term time frames and make a decision from there. I feel so unconcerned about BCH and EOS and Litecoin in these spots. I'll look at EOS and Litecoin too, because the downside is so limited. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could still lose. Like if the market just completely tanked down to here, I could probably lose like 40 to 50%, and it would suck. But I don't have to worry about winding up like 90% underwater ever. This is a hard floor, guys, right? Look at this on the weekly. Like, we can pull out the monthly, and this is a hard floor. So, yeah, look at BCH on the monthly. Look at that. Look at it. So, anyway, those are my feelings on BCH. I think it's going to blow. In a good way. It's going to blow.
I think it's gonna blow in a good way.
Yeah, it's the shit in a good way. It's so bad in a good way.
Speaking of which, you should take a look at sushi right now.
Okay, let's look at sushi, and then we'll come back to. Oh my god, we're getting Kusama.
Yeah.
Yep, Boris Bitcoin in the live chat earlier said continuation on sushi today, question mark. What are your thoughts? Yep, sure, looking like
it. Yes, but it might end up being so volatile we can't take it.
Yeah. I'm hanging on to that sushi I got, so.
Oof. Look at that. And, man, if you did not wait for a cross below a baseline to take a short, man, you screwed yourself.
Jack, did you ever find out any more on that coin that you could get if you were holding sushi or whatever?
Not sure which one you're referring to, but
you were trying to claim it the other day?
Pangolin.
Oh, was it? Yeah, that's right. It did have sushi related to that as well. Yeah, I gave up on it because it was having some issues. Because you do claim on Avalanche a separate chain, so yeah. I was gonna let
Avalanche chain was having problems all weekend.
Yeah, so I was gonna let that sort itself out before I went any further.
I'll let you. See if you knew anything more.
I'll let you boys know if I find out anything else.
Looking forward to it. Free money.
I think Pangolin is the pancake Uniswap. Pancakes.
It's some kind of Uniswap-ish product coming soon.
The cake is pancake.
Yeah, And then they have syrup or whatever as their coin.
I feel like such an ass talking about this sector sometimes. It's like, did you buy pasta yet? Did you buy pasta?
yeah, you sound like a moron. It reminds me of like that one episode of Family Guy where like they're golfing and like the stockbroker's on the phone and he hits him in the head with the golf ball. It's like waffles, big tasty waffles with lots of syrup. And then they're all like at the stock exchange going waffle, waffle, trying to sell it.
So well, so.
Waffle.
Okay.
But yeah, we sound silly when we go through the coins.
Yeah. What else? What else did he want us to look at besides BCH and BAT?
I mean, they were all very exciting baseline bounces. I'm not sure how much more time you want to spend on them, but there was also Stellar and MATIC. No one else has requested Stellar and MATIC yet. I am willing to keep it going though. If you mean we only have 30 minutes left in the show, I got a whole bunch more to do. Stellar or MATIC, if you want to.
It is really hard to hate on Stellar here, even though we are trapped below resistance. Still a little bit. This just feels like such a successful retest of all the areas that needed retesting.
Yep,
right.
I agree. Fill in all that space.
We have filled in all this space, and then the recovery is so nice over the past few hours. I would still wait for a continuation long signal here, because all we have is this incredibly overbought sell signal, right? And so yeah, we recovered a little bit, but we could still, finish breaking down here, and then we go, just teach the people who buy the first dip, you never buy the first dip. I think all of you have heard Justin say that. It's not one of my sayings, but it's just something to think about, guys. You never buy the first dip.
It's something I say all the time. Never buy the first dip. There's always going to be at least a retest of that area, if not a continuation of the breakdown. So why would you even mess with it?
Yeah. So I would much prefer to buy a new high up here than buy here, and then
get smoked.
Where are we going to put our stop? Right? Where's our stop going to go? It would have to be like down here, or maybe below this way, because we could just retest the bottom of the wicket. That would suck. So it's not an area that you want to be entering. And this is telling us to take profit here, but it doesn't look bad. It was XLM, and then what was the last one?
MATIC.
Finally, MATIC, yes.
Same story. Look at all these trap buyers above us, right? And this is kind of a 3 Black Crows pattern right here. So I really feel like we're probably going to get more of a pullback on MATIC in this spot. Yeah, look at all these trap buyers above us. So we'll probably come up and retest this area a little bit and face rejection down to maybe down to 6 cents, 7 cents. That's what I would look to do. I would look to pick up that dip and not this dip. What's next?
All right, Bird. Hope you appreciated that. We did all 4 of your requests.
All right, Bird.
Pablo Gutierrez, Cardano, please. Yes.
We did that one.
All right, we already looked at Cardano. Be sure to check the timestamps after the show if you happened to miss that analysis. Next one's from Adam Cohen. Adam Cohen requesting Link and Ethereum, please.
We did.
We did both of those.
Indeed, we did. All right, yet again, including Todd, who just requested ETH, trying to break trend.
Well, I mean, if it's doing something different, we can go take a look at ETH real quick. I'm not adverse to it, but
we already did Ethereum. Again, guys, check the replay after the show. You will find timestamps in the description below. It will certainly take you back to any charts you missed, like Ethereum or Link. If Ethereum is doing anything different, we'll round out and take a look at it after the show, unless you're looking at it right now. Alex, any additional thoughts? No?
It could recover in this spot. It's just nothing really has happened. We're still just trading sideways in the same spot since the start.
All right, in that case, let's keep it going. Mr. H, formerly S. Hyatt, in the live chat says, gents, please check UniPerp and RSR USD. All right, so let's take a look at the Uniswap Perp.
Wait, Uniswap Perp or Uniperp? Because those are
my mistake. UniPerp.
That's okay. Okay.
UniPerp.
To me, Uniswap is still really weak. We pointed out all these bearish divergences on the 12-hour. We're still below resistance. We keep breaking below it. Now we've got this big candle. We're below the daily baseline. As a matter of fact, I'm tempted to take a daily short signal here, even though we're not below zero on the oscillator, just because Watt is firing, and it looks pretty nice here. I will consider it. Maybe we'll wait for the oscillator. I don't want to get us into a short too soon. But Uniswap is just saying no. The Uniswap does not look like Kusama. It does not look like Theta. This is not something I want to buy into. So just no. And if you're in Uniswap, I dare say you should be out. So those are my thoughts.
Okay, I like that. Let's. Oh yeah, and he also
bearish divergence here on the daily. It's not great, guys. Bearish divergence as we break below the daily baseline and Wada starts firing short. I mean, there's literally almost nothing else we could ask for here. We just need to be below zero on our oscillator.
Okay. He also requested RSR on Binance.
Okay. Observe the right.
Oh well, it's on Binance then. I better look on here. So, I'll be honest with you. I am of two minds. Part of the reason is because, I'm in the trade. I'm in this trade right now. I entered right over here on this break. So, I think probably at the end of today, if we don't have a very strong recovery, I'll be dumping due to the sell signal that we have here. I mean, this is not a trade where I am deeply in profit. So, if we're back below here, then I'm just kind of not interested in being in this trade anymore. But we haven't closed below resistance either. Let's go back over here because we've got more data to work with. Yeah, at this time, I would suggest that it's just there's no good reason to be in it here if you entered in this area. If you're in from this area, let's see what the weekly is giving us. The 3-day and the weekly. This is not fantastic here. This 3-day wick is suggesting that of momentum on higher time frames, especially we get this wick and then we start to kind of collapse. And this is a lot of volume on this wick, right? We had even more volume here than we did here. Look how big this wick is. So this just got absorbed by sellers, essentially. People bought here and sellers were like, please take my reserve rights. And then we kind of dump. Well, that's not great, right? We would be expecting to see more bullish momentum on higher time frames. Weekly here is, however, suggesting there may be nothing to be concerned about. There's really nothing to complain about with this weekly candle. We've closed above the previous weekly resistance, and we're holding above it. So it's just a mixed bag right now. There's evidence for both sides. There's no reason to rush for the exits right now. But if you're in it from this area, then I would be very cautious about letting it close back below this resistance and not getting out, because otherwise you're likely to have to hold on all the way down into the 30s, which is like a 50% drop from this area. Okay, I think that's the best way to play reserve rights, or at least that's how I'm planning on playing reserve rights. Okay.
All right. Well, some solid insight into RSR. Looks a little dicey. Let's get into the next request. Thank you, Mr. H. All right. I know you've been waiting for a while, Mr. Cohen, for this one. If you end up having time, he asks, SOS on the stock market, but you can push it to the end if you don't have. No worries, we're here. We got time for you, Mr. Cohen. Let's look at SOS on the traditional market.
Okay. I presume you mean this SOS limited. So.
Yeah, SOS limited ADR.
Okay. So this looks like a really beautiful chart to me. If you're in this, then congratulations. I would just keep holding. So what I want to point out to you guys is, first of all, we have the break of this long-term downtrend. Do you see that? All right. So from 2017 all the way until mid 2020, we are in a downtrend. We break it, so you can see. We retest it and consolidate. We hold it. Consolidate some more. We get all this volume coming in. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this volume compared to all the volume that we have historically. Let me turn off our baseline right here. See, the baseline is not going to help us much here on the weekly. Let's take out our weekly 20. Let's do that. So I think
parameters on there.
Yep, I think Jesse Stein would consider this to be a beautiful trade. Break the downtrend. We consolidate on the weekly. We have a nice long basing period of roughly 6 months. We break. We test below the 20 and successfully retest the previous broken trend, hold it, then break back above the 20 weekly on heavy volume. We retest it, successfully hold it, pump more on heavy volume, pump more on heavy volume, pump more on heavy volume, right? So if I were you, I would just hold this for probably several more months. We'll probably come back down and retest a little bit. This chart leads me to believe you could, if you've been in this for a while, you could probably take this up,
even $45.
Yeah, but I would look towards this area is a take profit area, and maybe you could take profit if you plan to get in like on a retest just a little bit lower. But if you're holding this for the long term, I wouldn't get shaken off in this area if we do pull back a little bit. I just keep holding. I look towards 15. I look towards 30, 45. These are all good areas to look to take it to. I don't think it looks bad, man. If you're in it, congratulations.
If you snagged that before, just sit on your hands. You've done the work. Now let it work for you.
Yeah, this volume right here is very good. Yeah. Very good, man. What's next?
Hey, thank you for that look at SOS for Adam Cohen. Let's get next one. This is a question from Dr. Fasawama. Another question, could this be the crypto market retracing? Could this be the crypto market retracting its tentacles awaiting any move on the S&P tomorrow? Any predictions for what's going to happen on traditional markets like the S&P index, Alex? And
they kind of look like they're going to pump.
Yeah, I think everything looks like it's going to pump.
The way Friday closed, it's kind of hard to argue, right? So this is the Friday close. As you can see, we got a continuation long signal on the weekly. WADA is telling us to go for it. Let's look on the daily. Daily is pretty bullishly postured, right? I mean, we made a new all-time high on Friday. We closed it. As you recall, we were talking on Friday, and it was down while we were talking. I thought, it could go, but on lower time frames, even there's just no time frame where the Nasdaq looks weak right now. I've got nothing. I have nothing. And let's look at the S&P. Similar story. We closed Friday with a new all-time high. We're a little overbought on the Fisher. It doesn't mean much here. WADA is telling us we've got momentum, although we don't necessarily have volatility yet. But lower time frames are very bullishly inclined. So these look like they're going to be pumping into tomorrow. So that being said, while the Nasdaq, while SPY and Bitcoin are correlated, I would never say that people are waiting in crypto to see what happens in the SPY. I don't think that's the case.
All right, let's head into our next request.
Yeah, Dow 2, fairly bullishly postured, although not as did not make a new high the way the other ones did.
All right, fingers crossed for a bullish Tuesday opener in the markets. Next is Pablo Gutierrez. Ethereum Bitcoin looks like an inverted head and shoulders. Something you want to comment on or keep moving?
Let's look at it.
I mean, what time frame?
I think he means lower time frames. I think I know what he's talking about.
I see it.
Yeah, it's not an inverted head and shoulders because the shoulders have to be actual shoulders. Your shoulders are not above your head, right? So in that way, this cannot be an inverted head and shoulders because the head is not down here and the shoulders need to be equivalent. But I see what you mean in that we do have kind of a triple bottom in this spot where we clearly have three somethings in a row. It's just not like a shoulder, head, and a shoulder. I'm not convinced. We could still be like pushing below this area. But I do like that we have the break of this downtrend as shown, and then we kind of retest it and hold this area. I just wish we had more bullish momentum even on lower time frames, and we don't. It's kind of meh right here. Where's the recovery that we had on all the other alts, where they're just like basically recovered completely, like on THETA or Link? Fine, they're still at resistance, but they're not like Bitcoin here, where it's still kind of languishing near their lows. Mm-hmm. So I'm not super impressed with Ethereum in this spot. And then don't forget that on Ethereum USD we have that falling wedge, right? So to me, this is whatever. Maybe this will come back up and retest the highs here. Price often does that. We kind of fake these people into shorting. Short. Hey guys, keep shorting Ethereum. Bam! You guys all just screwed yourselves. Ha ha ha. That's kind of how the markets do. But one way or another, it's still not impressive when we compare it to the other alts. So, whatever. That's my feeling on Ethereum Bitcoin in this spot. But I don't see an inverse head and shoulders per se, if that's your question. What's next?
Okay, let's get into the next one. Thank you, Pablo Gutierrez, for the Ethereum Bitcoin trade. Or chart, Mr. Spooner, a live chat requesting Warp. Is Warp a coin? Yep. Probably a coin.
Warp Drive.
Yep, Warp Finance.
So gotta be DeFi.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we have quite a big fake out here on Warp. So I was in Warp, and I entered Warp in this area, and Warp was one of the ones that I dumped this morning because, you couldn't dump anything last night. It was like $200 to dump your position. So this kind of looks ugly right now, and likely sellers will continue to step in. At this point, there's no reason to be in it. If I were you, I would look for a recovery back towards resistance and then exit, because that'll get sold into by all these people that are trapped right now. I think that's probably the best way to approach that.
All right, there is your escape coordinates for Warp. try not to get sucked into the nearest black hole of massive losses. Let's get into the next request. Lucas Begard requesting Tron.
This is most likely a bullish retest of resistance turn support here on Tron Bitcoin. We could retest down again, but ultimately I feel like Tron is another one of those coins that doesn't really have anywhere to go but up.
Mm-hmm. When you're looking at the weekly, for sure.
Yeah. So I would suggest to you that Tron wants to return towards this area, the Tron Bitcoin, and yeah, and the USDT chart this week, this weekly candle is looking a lot like a retest. So we could trade sideways, we could retest a little bit more, but on higher, if you are trading this on higher time frames at all, and if you're looking at this as a long-term trade, I probably wouldn't get out in this area. I would probably keep holding because we had such a long consolidation period. Let's here we go. Okay, turn off the baseline after all. So yeah, this is the market the way I see it. Got this long, boring consolidation period that we break out of. We retest the point of control many times, and we finally break up here over the past 3 weeks. I would suggest to you that Tron is not done here, and I would probably look to take it towards 9 cents, 10 cents. But if you're trading it on lower time frames or the daily, then I'm not necessarily convinced that we won't make another low towards this area before we do get that continuation on towards those other areas, okay? So, yeah, I would try and figure out what your time frame preference is, and if you're trading on the daily, you could be, maybe I'll find a better entry than this area. Or if you're looking on the weekly and you don't really care, and you just want to make money over the long term, then it could be a good trade. What's next?
Okay, that is Tron. Alex, is there anything... I was going to... Sorry, got a little distracted here. Alex, it seems like you're bearish on everything but Tron. How about that? Okay, let's get into...
That's not true. I've been bullish on a lot of different alts.
I know, I'm kind of pulling your leg here.
All right,
let's see. We have the Salt Mine requesting ALGO, please. ALGO.
I'll go look at it.
Oh,
nice.
Damn.
I'm waiting for that.
Yeah. This feels like a pretty good sell signal. This is we have a take profit signal, as you can see. We feel a little overextended. I would suggest to you we'll probably trade sideways a little, pull back, and then get a very strong continuation on ALGO. So you can see we have just kind of a blow off top on the weekly. Not quite a blow off top, but it's a lot of momentum, right? And this whole area below us is unretested. So I do think I would want to see a little bit more of a pullback here, maybe over the next couple of weeks in this spot. This wick on the 12-hour, it's not it does not feel good. All these people above us are trap buyers. Look at all the volume right here in this candle. All those people are trapped right now above us. Trapped. So yeah, I think I want to see a pullback towards 90 cents, 85 cents. On lower time frames, if we got a break of this trend, I would look for a retest of the highs. That's how to play it there. What's next?
Okay, Lucas, the Salt Mine, that's ALGO for you. Okay, we've only got a small handful of requests left and about 10 minutes of show. This should be doable. Let's see here. This one's from Max Welch, UMB, Wise, and TFUEL. Any three?
Okay. UMB. I remember we were looking at UMB just last week.
We were.
UMB.
Now, we looked at it right here. This spot. And so, if I recall correctly, in this spot, I said it could kind of go either way. And to exit if we close below this order. And we didn't end up closing below this area. We broke up. This area is still resistance, though. While we're in the middle of the trading range and without a signal from time transformation, I would suggest we're just kind of in a spot where it could go either way. You know? Let's yeah, I would prefer to buy a break above here or a retest into this area or down here. You know, something where I felt like I was getting a good enough price that it was a low risk entry. Or, you know, I was getting a worse price, but I had more confirmation to make it worth it. Because in this spot, we go down, we go up. So I'm not super interested in UMB in this spot right now. Let's look at Wise. I think I do like Wise in this spot. Here is why I like Wise in this. Well, I guess I don't like this 3-day sell signal on Wise. That's something I don't like. But what I do like is that Wise held up really well overnight, didn't it? A lot of alts had 20% pullbacks. Not Wise. Wise didn't have much of a pullback at all, and it got bought back up pretty quickly. So I'm not super happy with picking it up in the middle of this trading range. I would, because we still have a daily sell signal too. So 3-day sell signal, daily sell signal. I don't want to pick it up in this spot, but it's very intriguing. And if it started to break up, and if we got a long signal, take it in a heartbeat. It looks really good with this consolidation area, but it could also be a consolidation area before we break down just one more time, chase out these longs, reaccumulate just a little bit more. So exercise a little caution here, and it'll benefit you. What was the third one? I'm sorry.
TFUEL.
TFUEL. All right. It looks beautiful. I would suggest to you to just keep on riding it. Yep, we got nothing, man. No sell signals. But we also don't have a signal we can take either. We haven't had a signal that was takeable on this since back in early February. So yeah, that's all I gotta say on TFUEL. If you're still in it, just keep holding. I don't see signs of pullback here. And it's interesting. If TFUEL is doing this, then maybe THETA is also likely to do this because TFUEL and THETA are very correlated. That's kind of ugly. We'll see. What's next?
Okay, the show is slowly drawing to a close, and Alex, can't help but notice you're feeling super generous today. You are doing the multi-requests. Make sure you guys show some love to Alex. He brought his mojo today. Crypto Cat in the live chat says, "Can we look at mana?"
Yeah. Well, sometimes when people ask, when I look at the same chart each day of the week, it's like, guys, nothing has changed since yesterday. Why am I looking at this chart again? But a lot changed over the weekend. All these charts look very different from how they did earlier in the week and stuff. So I kind of don't feel bored looking at the same one again. So I'm sorry. What was this? What did this person want?
Mana, MANA.
That's right. Decentraland. It feels like mana is likely to continue in this area, especially as we've just we've closed a new weekly high last week. So this candle closed yesterday, and then this is today's candle. So this is the real information that. Okay, fine, don't do it.
Oh, you're really getting it raw now, guys.
Okay, apparently the replay function doesn't want to work today. Yeah, anyway, I would suggest to you that mana is likely to continue here because we broke in the previous weekly all-time high. As you can see, I was charting, man, all the way back here, way back when. It's so funny. You can see that I changed my colors sometimes, but sometime in early 2019. Okay, here. This is so bullish looking right here on lower time frames. Look at this. Right now, we just don't have any. We don't have any buy signals that we can take. Overall, I can't help but feel this is incredibly bullish looking on mana. We could retest a little bit, but there's just, as long as we're holding the trend and above the daily baseline, which I don't have out, but I kind of tell that we are, then there's really nothing for us to do in this position at this time. But again, when we look at the weekly over here on a long-term chart for mana, then I think it's got room to move. I think it could keep going. So it's really going to depend on what time frame you're trading mana on here. What's next?
All right, getting into the final few requests. Just a couple minutes left in the show, guys. It's always nice to wrap on a high note. Here we go. Red Blood Cells says, thoughts on Filecoin?
All right, let's look at Phil. Yeah, the weekly suggests continuation. So we retest the high again. I'm not super impressed with it on lower time frames, and we do have a daily sell signal at the end of today. So I don't really want to do anything with it, because we're overextended too, and the sell signal is enough. But looking at it on the weekly, we've closed above the previous weekly high, so we could maybe retest down a couple times here before we continue onwards. But I think Filecoin is likely to continue here on higher time frames. So if you've been holding for a while, I wouldn't necessarily be looking to dump in this spot. But if you're on the daily and you just like bought over here or something like that, or maybe over here, then take profits in this area and hop on out and wait to see what happens. What's next?
Okay, moving right along. Finally, we have Polkadot. Pablo Gutierrez, Polkadot should be interesting too. I just saw Voxel in the live chat request Polkadot. I don't think we did Polkadot yet, or did we?
I don't think so. Yeah.
All right, Polkadot it is.
Well, we don't have a buy signal, but this could pull a Kusama in this spot. And as you can see, we're holding the daily trend, we're holding the daily baseline, and we're making a new high today. So there's not much to complain about. We just don't have a signal to take right now. I guess that's what I would keep my eye on if I were you. If we were able to close a new high, then that would, maybe convince me to stay in if I hadn't already exited on our sell signal. And then if we started to break back below this area as the day wore on, then, it's not super impressive. I guess that's what I would do. I would wait for a buy signal, because this could be one of the ones that is trapped under resistance rather than making new highs. Well, we'll see. It could very well follow Kusama, especially because they're so closely linked. What's next?
Okay, Polkadot potentially preparing to do a Kusama. Let's get into the final few. Boris Bitcoin continuation of Sushi. Yes, we did Sushi already.
It looks pretty awesome.
Finally, Johnny said, I'd throw in Quantum if it's possible at all. Yeah, let's do Quantum for Johnny. QTUM, yes.
Yes. I've got a sell signal, and this one hasn't even recovered to resistance like some of the other ones. The weekly is strong enough that if you've been holding for the long term, I wouldn't be looking to exit in this area. We've just broken off over long-term resistance last week. I suggest to you that we will likely consolidate in this area and then continue making new highs on QTUM. That's the most likely. We even have a big long-term inverse head and shoulders, guys. Look at that. Look at this thing right here. It's very beautiful. I'll draw this out for you in case you're just blind. So a measured move on this.
Where is it?
I can never find this tool. Oh my gosh. It's just price measure. Come on, Alex. There we go.
Why don't you just click the ruler?
Yeah. Well, I prefer this one because I can clone it.
Pretty sure you can clone the ruler, can't you?
You can clone your face.
Oh. You're gonna need some pretty advanced scientific gear for that, bud.
Okay. Right. I am gonna go and talk to John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. I'm gonna figure out their secret.
Face
here.
Off, huh?
Yeah.
I try to take my face off.
So I would suggest to you that this measured move is telling us that we can take it to at least $12. So this feels very, very safe to me. If you've been in this long term, this resistance level has held since 2018, and we just broke it. Like yesterday, the candle closed yesterday for the break. So I don't think it's time to get out, even though we've got a little bit of a pullback here on QTUM. I would just keep holding if I were you. I think that's the best way to go about this. The real money's made on higher time frames, guys.
Indubitably.
What's next?
All right, Johnny. Hope you liked that look at Quantum. All right, I have one final request in the queue, which brings us to a close. If anybody posted a request in the last 5-10 minutes, I don't think we're going to get to it, but I'm fairly sure we caught up. All right, this final is for Spin Dizzy. COCOS USDT, please. All right. Bit of an odd one to end the show on. Let's see here.
I hear COCOS has been hot.
COCOS is hot, eh? Everybody going Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh my God. What happened here?
Whoa.
I mean, but what happened? This is like 100x in 1 week.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were in on that trade,
holy crap! Hold on, am I reading that correctly? Is that like
yes,
30,000x?
that is 300,000%.
What happened?
Yes, what did happen? Why is COCOS up 300,000%? It's a very good question. I do not know.
I just am hopeful for the rest of my bags. Please do that.
Yes, please. I could use a 300,000%
Please do
gain.
a couple of those.
I
really could use
my
it.
feelings on COCOS is that generally after
mind-boggling.
a market that I'm trading does 300,000%, I
Take some
don't
profit. Take a little bit of
I'll tell ya,
profit.
I
don't know what's happening there. That's crazy.
yeah. I mean, we're just
How is that not blowing out crypto bubbles?
because it was just like for one day it gapped up. It was just a gap up.
You know what? Spin Dizzy just replied to the live chat, and he said there was a coin deduction. Yes, might need to factor that in. Coin reduction. Yes.
So they like did a reverse,
Like
split.
a reverse stock split.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
That's what it is. Gotcha.
They're trying to get onto the NASDAQ, huh?
Yeah, well, in that case, for right now, there's just nothing for us to do on COCOS. We don't have any new signals. We're just a little overextended. Oh,
Just about 300,000% overextended.
Yeah. You know, this weekly candle is suggestive that we're likely to continue as we do close a new weekly high here, but we don't have a high, like as in like the high of the candle, not the high of the close.
Hiya.
Let's try the Bitcoin pairing. Or we'll try the Binance coin, I guess. That looks kind of nice. That looks like it could, I mean, I see a break of trend.
Yep.
This could
I'm
do
not sure.
things.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they do that in the sense of a reverse split on holding a crypto. Like, you'd still think that it'd be if you were holding from an earlier time.
Well, I mean, I think they can just move the decimal, essentially.
Yep. Everybody's wallets apply the the new cap. The new supply gets reflected in everybody's balance at once.
Yeah, COCOS' chart is just too fucked up for me, man. Like, I'm sorry, their reverse split just essentially messed up our ability to look at any past data.
Coco is cuckoo.
Yeah, we're COCOS for Cuckoo Puffs over here. So
Coco's for cuckoo puffs.
yeah, exactly.
We're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So yeah, I kind of don't know what to do on COCOS. COCOS BNB has this break of trend, and that's something. But that's about all I've got for you.
All right then. Well, that's a great way to wrap up the Monday edition of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Updates. Guys, I'm glad we could get to pretty much everyone's requests. If I missed anything, which is not likely, I think I was pretty diligent in collecting today's requests, minus maybe this one from Topher Dowling Rook. No, we're gonna unfortunately have to wrap. Do save any further requests for tomorrow, because we're gonna be back. Well, because we're like clockwork, guys. We do this on a regular basis. Your number one source for a daily market update. Who else do you know puts in 2 hours a day looking at the charts the way we do? Yes, we are.
And also with the timestamps going as well as they are, what you guys should be doing is if you missed the show, come back and just get your quick rundown of the coins that you are interested in for that day, because with the new timestamps, I mean, you can just get it done quick. So might as well just make it your one-stop shop.
Yep.
If you enjoy timestamps, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Correct. Right on. All the above, guys. It's been a great show. It's always great to work with our analysts on a regular basis, guys. No, we are not just some amateur traders here. We don't work at the grocery store during the day to come host a show at night. No, our analysts are full-time. This is a real business, a real channel with real analysts and real day traders. So don't think we're just some amateurs just going on and on and on about the charts. No, our guys
Get in the Discord
do it for
and
real.
ask around.
Yep.
Ask people that have joined the group. We don't have to tell you.
Indeed, indeed. But yes, guys, I'm going to quickly check in on our poll, and then we're going to move to wrap. What say you? You all ready for this part? Jason, I think you missed today's poll, so this would be perfect time to recap with you.
What do we got?
Whoops, I pressed the back one too many times. Let's drop the link in the live chat, and here we go. Today's poll is the following. with Ethereum gas prices spiking to new highs over the weekend. Did you exit any positions, or were you trapped in any of your ERC20 trades due to the high gas prices? We've got 36 votes in on today's poll already. Apparently the leading response is no, the gas prices are out of control and kept me trapped. My mistake. That's actually the second response. That was my response. It seems that 72% of respondents continue to say that I trade on centralized exchanges and never experience high gas prices. Alright, so majority of the respondents apparently trade on Binance or Bittrex or Poloniex even. And apparently it's not a big deal. So, access to shitcoins without any of the gas baggage attached. That's Binance for you guys. Be sure to check them out. But I kid. Yes, so we have 36 votes. I trade on centralized exchanges is leading. We've got 10 likes in already and 4 comments. Be sure to hit that like button on the poll. It really does help.
I wasn't necessarily trapped, but the things that I do have on Uniswap, I'm holding for longer term, so I'm not really being affected by gas prices.
So,
but if I did, I would be screwed by the gas.
Alright, so Jason stays in it. Jason remains long in his Uniswap trades. Me, I'm the same way. I've got a few Uniswap bags of my own, and I'm not quite selling yet, but holy crap, some of these coins are running hard. Don't forget to take profit, guys. Thank you to everybody who left a comment, including JezzaCoin. I waited till today to scoop up some coins, and the costs were reasonable, says JezzaCoin. Alright, so JezzaCoin apparently is paying the gas in order to buy the dip.
Methodical. I like that approach.
I guess I know where the one vote came from. Probably came from JezzaCoin for that option. But yes, thank you guys so much for participating in the poll and joining us today on the Monday edition of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Finally going to move to wrap. I'm sure everyone's relieved. It's time to hit the exits. Hope everybody has a great rest of their long weekend. Monday, it's President's Day. It's Family Day in Canada. It's been a great one, gentlemen. I'll leave the final goodbyes to our analysts.
Jason?
Well, I have to actually get settled in here to look at the charts, but from everything that I've looked at over the morning, it appears that we are still bullish until proven otherwise, in my opinion. Yeah. I know Alex is talking a bunch of bearish cases here, but at the same time, we could be seeing the beginning of that breakdown. We're still in limbo, so I think the best thing
we are in limbo. Yeah,
the best thing is to be patient, sit on your hands here, and let the market prove to you. And then, whichever way it's going to be a ride, guys. I can feel the pressure building.
Yeah, we speculate a lot about what will happen, but we only take positions based on the evidence that we have that day.
Data.
So right now, the evidence is that we've got a lot of sell signals across the market, and some of the alts are still pumping. So those are the things that we know to be true. So for right now, I would just value capital preservation and focus on the alts that continue to do well. Because, I mean, if you guys have had an amazing December, an amazing January, an amazing February, yes, February could continue to thing, and maybe we even go into March, but there's no harm in taking profits, and maybe you re-enter a little later, or maybe you re-enter something else. It's not bad, guys.
Yeah, it's essentially the same thing as just being a little conservative when things have been going really well, because you understand statistically that you're likely to get some either some chop or change in direction or something like that. So it's always good to be conservative.
Yeah. And then, by the way, if you guys take profits and then we do dump it, then you guys will have dry you'll have dry powder, to use.
There you have it, guys.
With taking profit.
That's right. Throw caution in the wind and keep your foot in the gas. We're taking this all the way to the moon. Never sell. Hodl to the end. Our analyst here tell you every time.
All-time lows.
No. We're taking them all-time highs, guys. That's right. I just looked into my Magic 8 Ball. It's told me
look again tomorrow.
The bull market. No, it said another 3 years minimum. So we're riding this bull market all the way to the moon, and then some. It's gonna pay for our seat on the SpaceX rockets that takes us out of here, guys. I'm gonna leave all the no coiners, all the pessimists behind, and I'm gonna go pretty much off-world while you guys sit here and drown in the tears.
Wow.
of inaction. All right, so buy your coins, hold your keys. See you on Tuesday. Much love.
Trade safely.
Goodbye.